Hello, virtual world lovers. Welcome to Second Life by Loff. In this channel, I have two main goals. One is to show how diverse Second Life is and how you can take advantage of all its features and make your life easier, faster, and cheaper. The other goal is to grow my sim and the community around my sim, Ibiza Life. And you can help out or join in two different ways. You can come to Ibiza Life and you can join the group and keep up with stuff and just enjoy for free everything Ibiza has to offer and meet people, attend events. Or you can get into my Patreon page and either only follow the page to keep up with it or check out how you can help support the many expenses a full region in Second Life bring. And of course, through several levels of help and rewards, what you can get from that inside this community and how we can help each other. So today's subject is very interesting. We are talking about exploring places, and there are some things I would like to point out before we leave Ibiza Life and we get into many adventures. First of all, there are two different ways to approach exploration in Second Life of places and worlds and lands. One is to check out what the land is about, how it's built, what it has to offer. And from there, you are landing in some place, teleporting to some place where you know more or less what you are going to find and what you can get from that land. The other way, it's just using some tools I'm going to show you, and you just find visually something interesting and you pop up there and you don't know what you're going to find. Maybe you are surprised on the negative side and the owner doesn't want you there, or maybe you are very surprised on the positive side. And you are very welcome and you discover a world that you never imagined it could exist. Because many places are listed officially on the web page and even through the search and classifieds, but many places, they are just there. They welcome visitors, but they don't list it anywhere. They don't leave any description about what the place it is. So there's always a mystery and an adventure sense when you are exploring places in Second Life. Also, you can find many sorts of places. Some of them can be really small, just a portion of a land, and they have some meaning and some goals and some features for you to enjoy. Other places are whole islands, whole sims, but also it's possible to find some places that are built with several sims, several full regions or homesteads. And that means you are enjoying a land which is much bigger than a standard island or region that anyone can rent from Second Life. So this said, let's check the several tools available and several ways and tweaks on how to explore places in Second Life. One last thing before we start, this is very important. You can never explore everything in Second Life. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of places, small, medium, large, so many different from each other. And it would take you days and months on end to explore decently. And even if you could manage to explore most of the full region, which is something completely crazy and mad, even then, some of them are closing and new ones are opening every week, every day. So it's always changing and getting bigger. So forget about knowing the whole of Second Life, okay? One more reason why these tools are important. So I want to help you find exactly the type of things you need or you want or you wish to explore, and do not waste many time going into places that are not interesting for you. So first we are going to start outside the viewer. Okay, I'm using Firestorm. It's exactly the same if you're using the official viewer or another third-party viewer like Firestorm. the way, the tools, they may be second or third place in the menu, but they are there, same names, same things, pretty much the same way. So regardless of the viewer you are using, this video will always help you out. Okay, let's start outside the viewer and let's go to Second Life website. And here we are. And we have a very interesting and informative way to know what's available in Second Life for exploration or for use, which is you go to what's next, you go to destination guide, and here you have the official listing of places. Usually Second Life only accepts full regions or a set of full regions. I cannot swear that all of these worlds or creations that are on the destination page, I cannot swear some of them could be just half a sim. I cannot swear and tell you that, but mostly we are talking about full regions with a very complete concept, a very good description, and they are already very well built, because there is a filter and Second Life doesn't accept just anyone putting a small land with some silly stuff on there. There are rules and there are minimum requirements for your place or other people's place to be listed on the destination guide. But why is this useful? First, it is divided, as you can see here in the left, it's divided by themes, by types of lands. And as you can see, there are many types and subtypes. For example, education, you have universities, museums. Let's check, for example, museums. You will find several of them, historical, modern, whatever. And if you find, you have the title and some short description. If you find some of these museums interesting, you just click in one. It will take you to the proper page with a more complete description. You can check the museum in the map. So you can click here and it will show up outside the viewer. Where is it in the map? In this case, this museum, it's in the mainland, because this is mainland, of course. It's not, we are not talking about these sims or islands. And also the most important feature, the most important tool is if you really like what you're reading, and remember there is thousands of them here, each one they give you the number of destinations that you have. This usually if someone allocates and shows his world in the destination guide, it's because they want you to go there somehow or for something. Either it is events or rentals or services or communities or activities, but you can be sure, if you are checking the destination guide, you can be sure you are going into places where people want visitors to go. So it's already a way for you to know you are welcome, and they expect you to be there. And most of these places, inclusive, they have some welcoming avatars. There are just real people that are there to welcome you. Not all of them, of course, but it's a job in Second Life. Greet people in regions. But the most important feature I was saying is this, the teleports. You have your viewer already open, you are inside Second Life, you are checking the destination guide, you click in teleport and look at what happens. You already have the pop-up window of the place, also with a description and image, and it says it is a moderate or a public or PG or moderate or adult place description, and you just teleport to that place. And we are going to the Eatonville Living History Museum. Living history sounds interesting. So we are here. If you are not used to Second Life, when you arrive in some place, you will see everything gray because stuff is still rendering around you. You have to give it some seconds until everything is properly resed with the textures and the shapes and the reflections of light and effects and everything. Of course, that will depend on your computer. but sometimes it also depends on what is built in the sim. I'm going to make a very interesting video about how, when you are building a world, how to avoid lag. And there are many things people don't know, even people that is building for a long time. So, of course, there is a challenge when you arrive in a destination. Usually the creator of the destination sets up the place where you are going to land, and usually there you will find some information about the place. It's like a welcoming area. You may find a board about the events they have. You may find the system with a menu, like I did in Ibiza Live, for a teleport system where you find the main spots and you teleport between them, or you find the roads or some arrows, or there is a text or a poster explaining what the sim is all about. But anyway, a good way to check the general layout of any land or sim you land on, it's to click here on the map, and immediately you will have the vision of where you are. Okay, I will talk a little bit about what these things are, the yellow stuff and the green stuff. And through the map, you will be able to see the place you are, the layout of the place. My computer is not one of the best, and I've been doing some tests here with Zoom, and Zoom is very heavy. I'm using Zoom to stream today, but it's stubborn. It doesn't want to rest. But as you can see, every region or every sim, they have a general layout of the map. Not all of them are showing this, but that's for later. Okay, we are gonna talk about the map later. This is just an information that you need right now, because wherever you land, it's a way for you to know exactly the layout and what kind of different areas there are. There is a beach, there is a forest, there are buildings. Okay, so that helps you a lot. And sometimes you just land in the less beautiful spot of the place, and you check the map and you see, oh, there's a forest over there. Oh, this is a pop-up that shows up when you land in places. It's about the media, so the music, the stream music. It's an automated feature, and you can allow and listen to the music or deny. I will always deny. I have beautiful music in Ibiza, but I always shut it down because YouTube has a very unfair policy about copyright. And although I'm not monetizing my videos, no, never allow. Don't want to risk playing some music and getting into trouble. That's a YouTube problem. That's not something I want to worry at all. So if you check the land and you find there's something more interesting in the map from where you are, there's a forest or there's a mountain or a built area, you just click on it and you will be teleported to that area immediately. When you are checking a region map and you change your position and you want to go to other place and you click teleport, it's not always going to work, because when people set up their lands, they have several options. They can force people to always land in the same spot. So if you want to jump in one same sim or one same world, if you want to jump from the beach to the forest, you cannot, because the owner strictly forced landing of people always on the same spot. Other option is to set up the landing area in one spot, but it's not forced. So it means whoever visits the sim from a link or a direct teleport from the map, or in this case, as we did from the destination guide, we will land exactly where the owner wants. But if we teleport other spots, then they will allow us to instantly teleport to other places. For example, I want to be near that house. Let's see if it's working here. It's working here. I could use the map, but for some reason, okay, right now it's already resing. This is also in mainland, so it's sometimes it's difficult to realize exactly where is the sim. I believe it's something like this. So there is a built area here. I click it and I'm pretty sure I'll be in a more constructed area of the sim. Some sims, they just don't have any instructions, any map. They have the general map, but they don't have any instructions, any poster, any TP systems, teleport systems. So you will be guessing and wandering around. But this is the most interesting part of exploration, is landing somewhere. Another thing which is very important, in many places you land and you cannot fly. So it makes it a bit more difficult to explore, but that it's made on purpose. It's another choice for whoever builds lands, because they don't want people to act on an unnatural way on their sim. If the sim is supposed to be walked with roads and pathways and places, and they set up a known fly zone, so it can happen. Okay, and sometimes when you get there, you're flying, but as soon as you land, you won't be able to fly again. You have to walk all the way. Very well. Let's just give you another example, something that can show you how Second Life is so diverse. Okay, electronic dance. This is under music, electronic dance. Very well. And the page is taking me to several places with electronic dance. Let's check this one. Ambrosia Dance Club. Entertainment, fashion, blah, 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 blah. View destination. You always have to check the destination in detail, and then you have the teleport or view in the map. The view in the map can be important because it's a fast way for you to know if it's mainland or if it is a sim. In this case, I believe it's also on mainland. Okay. No, it's a sim, so they are laid out, isolated. Although this is corner to corner, they cannot see each other because it's corner, it's not on the side. So right here we have an example of another thing I would like to tell you. Why the hell do you look at many sims and you see how you can zoom in with a mouse wheel a little bit, not too much. This is it. Why can you have a good peek in some sims and know exactly in some detail what sort of layout you have there, and why other sims doesn't have that? Well, sometimes people build a huge logo on the sky. So Second Life will show you the first thing that it's closer to God's eye, which is your eye right now, looking at the map, the bird's eye. Other times people are using what is called sim surround, which is something you can buy for your sim, and it will show stuff outside of your sim, but it makes it more realistic. So you don't have only your world and it's all over in the water. So that stuff cannot be accessed. You cannot go there and touch that stuff and use it, but it's showing mountains or deserts or whatever, or a cityscape, or whatever sorts of fantastic sim surrounds exist. But when people put that sim surround, it covers the whole sky. So it may be happening here, it may be happening, well, it's definitely happening here. So this is important when you were talking about the map. So don't expect to land everywhere and just have a good idea of what you have there. In this case, it will be something like this. Very well. We talked about the destination guide, which is very important. It does not end here, because when you are in the Second Life website, sometimes you are using the shopping the marketplace, and sometimes you are looking for products. For example, you type houses, which is very common to happen. You type houses, you like this house, you check it out. Yeah, I know we are not in the destination guide, but this guy has several houses for sale, and you can probably find, oh, there is. Usually when people have physical stores of their products, besides the description of the product and the features and permission and all that stuff, they also have, some of them, they have a link right here That means you can go there and watch the house physically and not just check the photos and the features right here, which is very important. If you're buying a house, one thing is to look at pictures, another thing is to try it out. So this is another way of exploration. When you find an interesting product, you say, okay, this guy has built, guy or girl, has built a very incredible product that I love. If he is building this sort of product, either it is a building, an animal, a vehicle, whatever, if he's building something so beautiful, maybe it's worth checking his land and check how he has decorated his land. And you can be doing that just for exploration, okay? If this guy makes beautiful trees, beautiful birds, beautiful rabbits, beautiful grass and sky and whatever, he probably and if he has a place where he shows his products, it's very probable that he has a wonderful world and he uses all his creations to create the world around where the products are being sold. So you can look at the marketplace as a way to find interesting creators and explore their lands. Okay, it's another way of exploration outside, and it works the same way. Visit this location, and this will pop up here. You give it some time and you teleport. Then two things can happen. Some guys are so detailed. For example, Chez Moi, which is a store that sells great furniture, and not only. Okay, I will deny the media and never allow the media. Chez Moi, for example, she has a great world, and she has all the products for sale. They are laid out outside. And when you are checking the product A or B or C on the web page, if you click on the link to see the product, the place where you land is exactly in front of that table, that kitchen, or that bed, or whatever. Many creators don't take the time to do that, and you just teleport to the arrival area of the world. But anyway, it's this case. So we didn't land right in front of that house, and probably here doesn't work like that. Probably he has a razor, and you scroll through the houses and res one by one to check the houses physically. Okay, so now let's talk about exploration inside Second Life. Okay, but we are still going to talk about exploration with some information, some research and information about you, what you want. Okay, then in the end, we're going to speak about exploration like surprise. You never know what's going to happen, where you're going to land. Okay, so what is it important to talk about this? You can also be given, and I forgot to mention that, that's why I checked my list. You can also be given a URL. So instead of a page, it's a link for a certain region or land in Second Life. It's an SLURL. For example, if you check my Patreon page, which is right here, sorry, it will land on the administration dashboards, but I'll very quickly take you to the public page. Here it is. This guy is helping already. You have the description. And you have, for example, view page, public page, sorry. And you have the tires and all that stuff. And you have here a description. And many forums, many posts in Second Life, in Facebook or Instagram, they show you a world, and then they give you a direct link, as long as you have the viewer and you have an avatar. Okay, I copy it, but I can click it, and it works the same way. It's from outside, and you can click and you get the teleportation for, in this case, Ibiza Life. So it's another way of exploring, because people can be sharing interesting worlds on social media, and they will give you the straight up link, which is the SLURL, and you can right away go into. Okay. Oh, there's a lady there, but today we are not talking about socialization. I'm just gonna say good night because I'm a very polite guy. Good night. Okay, maybe it's morning on her country, but anyways, it's just being polite. So, how else can we explore in Second Life? Okay, straightforward from the general map. You click on the map and you can use the mouse wheel. So in this case, we are checking the exact island where we are. We could teleport, just double click and teleport to any of these areas. And somebody can tell you the name of their sim. Imagine there is I pretty much I'm pretty certain there are sims names that start with beach. But wait a minute. When I insert beach on this area and it shows me a lot of them, if I click here, it takes me to the place. This doesn't mean the name of the project, of the world, of the person. It's Beach Plum. This is the name of the sim. So you can buy a sim and call it Green Grass, and then you're building a city, New York. And the name of the region doesn't have anything to do with your project. And then you go and you insert a name in the land and call it New York from the 19th century as whatever. But the name of the sim sometimes has nothing to do. But anyway, it's a way of looking for places straightforward from the map. So you want club. Okay, but remember, this doesn't mean Second Life is listing all the clubs. Far from it. There are thousands of them. He's just listing the names where that people rented from, either from Linden Labs or from landlords. They rent the whole island, and it's called Club 33, but it can be another thing. But it's a feature, it's useful, and it's a way to start. Although the best way to use the map for exploration, if you are just talking about the map, okay, we're gonna use search, which is one of the best ones, in several ways. But right now I'm just talking about the map. Okay, you can click, hold, and drag. You can zoom out. For me, the most important and most interesting way to explore worlds in Second Life is not typing names here, unless somebody doesn't give you the URL and doesn't give you any indication and just say, oh, don't worry, my world region is called Sweet Bay. Okay, you type Sweet Bay and you know you're landing exactly there. And in this case, because we are talking about the names of the regions in their base, no region can have the same name as another one. The projects can have equal names. People can set up their lands information and search and find with the equal names, but the name of the place, the region, it's always different. So there's no confusion when somebody gives you the proper name. In this case, for example, I would tell you, Ibiza Life is the land, is the project, is the name, is the community. But the name of the region, which I rented from a landlord, the whole island, it's Taylor. So if you write Taylor, it will show you this, which is Ibiza Life. But you can see Taylor and you see it's another place, but the real name shows up here, Ibiza Life, Fun, Friends, and Freedom. Okay, I think you got the hang of it. But the most interesting thing in the map is when you scroll out and you try to check where can you find islands. So usually islands are more interesting because they are bigger worlds and they have consistency. But you can also zoom out so much that you will sooner or later find mainland. The mainland, it's much trickier because usually in the mainland, you don't have only full sims. Full sim, it's 256 by 256 meter scale. So in mainland, you can have a full seam, and at the side of this full seam, you have a very tiny parcel of a guy that buy them to build a tiny house. And then you have subdivided parcels that are sold and bought and auctioned. So it's a bit of a mess. So when you are visually scrolling in the mainland, it will not make it easy for you. And you are not going to be able to distinguish. Here it is, mainland. I believe these are linden homes. But anyway, yes, these are places which are built with some logic. But it's very, very usual to, if you go to a mainland area, that you find very mixed, confusing stuff. And you have something with trees, then something with snow, then something empty for sale, for example. And it makes your life really tough. So if you go after the individual islands, you can do it just visually. This is infinite, okay? There is an infinity of regions. So you can just be checking a general area, a bit away from it, so you can compare areas. And then either you see something like this, which is covered by a seam surround effect, and you don't know what's going on there. You just don't know. You can check the name. So the name of the land is Cactus Expressure, but this is just the name of the region. It's not the name of the world. You can see there is one guy there. Every time you see a green dot, it's a person. And you can try to see if we can go there. And this is mystery. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he gets mad because I shouldn't be here. He's not listing his world anywhere. So why can't you, okay, he's offering me a landmark, so it's welcoming for visitors. Otherwise he would not be offering me landmarks and stuff like that. So, okay, he won't set the dogs. Anyway, I have a good wolf here to protect me, but he won't be shooting with a handgun. And why can't we see all these features in the map? Because he's using this. It's still raising, but he is using something that is outside the seam, which I find it interesting. I will do videos about building. There are some very pretty advantages in using this because visually is very interesting, but there are some major disadvantages in using these out of seams. Usually it's something small with low prims, but it's covers the whole seam. You don't see it in here, but you only see it outside the seam. So that is why we don't have a single clue of what was going on here. And now we can see that it looks like a cool place. Here, there's no seam surrounds, but there's a different thing. You can see, usually when you see a world that has some logic in construction, some harmony, it means it's a whole world. For example, we are talking about this one. This doesn't seem to be very built. This one, for example, you see all of this is more or less the same world. It can have different areas, but there is a consistency here. When you see straight lines dividing in 4 or 8, or this case, it means someone has subdivided the land and is renting or selling parcels of the land to other people. It doesn't make it a worse place to explore. Let's check it out. It can be interesting, but it means you will probably find very different stuff from one parcel to other, because each person that rents from him, it's doing different stuff. Some places have strict rules and you must build on the same style of the other guys and blah, blah, blah. But usually if you see squares and subdividing, expect to maybe find on those 4 or 8 parcels or more, you will find very different stuff. This guy has a farm with pigs. No, I don't want this. No. It's the media, and this guy doesn't have a farm with pigs. It has something that seems going to be a castle, also interesting, or his home, probably. Okay, I have to go away because he has a security orb. He doesn't want visitors. The other guy doesn't mind visitors. We are okay. Another guy that doesn't want visitors. I'm gonna be ejected sooner or later. Let's go to these empty plots. At least here they don't have automated security orbs. And be ready to be annoyed. In some places, Ibiza life doesn't have that. Never ever. In some places you land and you get jumped by pop-up boxes that want to give you the landmark of the place, want you to join the group. Then there is another one with information or a note card. Then you have that pop-up of the media stream. You want to listen or not. You want to allow the media to play. And sometimes you get 4 or 5 of those pop-up boxes. Usually when that happens, I get mad and I go away from there. I hate that. I hate that. There are smart systems that only do that once, and if the same avatar is coming back, they won't insist. Okay, only the first time you visit. That's also important to know. But I think they are very annoying. So get ready to visit whole islands, but still subdivided. It's very easy to identify because you as soon as you look at them, you see right away subdivided, different stuff. Subdivided, let's check this now. This is subdivided, but it's keeping a very consistent look throughout the whole sim. Other ones are clearly not consistent. So as you can see visually, it's very easy to spot what type of world you are exploring. You have stuff with snow, with fantasy. This is the typical view of a land that it's not built yet. It's like from scratch. It's the way they deliver the land. Sometimes landlords have lands, the whole islands for rental, and they don't look like this. It's still rising. They don't look like this, but this is the typical empty land Second Life has. There's one guy thinking about buying it or just bought it and is thinking about what the hell am I going to build on these tree sims. So remember, the green spots are people. Usually it's also important for you when you're using the map because you know if the land is empty. Now it depends on what you want, what you are looking for. If you want to have a nice walk or a lonely walk or explore crazy worlds, maybe you want to check the worlds and teleport into worlds that have anyone else. They are empty. Other thing that can happen is maybe you are looking for a club or a store or a community or meet people, and you are looking for these places that have, and you have the name of the people here. And now you tell me, hey, Loff, this doesn't seem to have a sim surround. It doesn't have a sim surround, but it seems to be quite empty. And what the hell are 8 people doing on an empty land? I mean, are these guys all there planning what to build together? No. Usually when you see a land that is completely empty, it can be a whole land or it can be a parcel, like a quarter of a sim on a world that is renting 4 different parcels to 4 different people. But usually when you see everything empty and many people, it means their builds and their facilities and their world, it's not built in the ground, it's built in the sky. It's using skyboxes, and it can be a club or whatever, a role play sim. But I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be 8 people around here on an empty barren land, just spread apart and not together. So this means everything is built high in the sky, and the map doesn't show stuff built high in the sky, at least this high. So it fools you. It's weird. Oh, completely empty. There's no sims around, is not the case, but so many people. So maybe there's something really very interesting here, which is worth have a look. Let's check it out. But I'm pretty sure it's not on the floor. It will be high in the sky. You can check it here. No, it's in the floor. Okay. My bad. It's in why? Oh no, okay. No, sorry. it's in the floor because I landed on the floor. But that doesn't mean the people that we saw are all in the floor. Actually, there's only one person here, another one there. Oh, they're all here. What the hell are they doing in an empty place? Okay, they are making me look like a fool. You got my point. This is really an exception. This is what's it's so magic about Second Life. So these guys are all in an empty land preparing something, whatever. We could go talk with them. This is not a video where we communicate with people. We are a bit rude right now. We are a bit snobbish today. Anyways, map. But expect to see many people in a barren place is because whatever is going on is in the sky. So as you can see, there are many features, many possibilities, and many things you must take in account when you are exploring. What sometimes I like to do, imagine, for example, Ibiza Life. Okay, this Ibiza Life won't get me there. It's Taylor. Ibiza Life is the name of the name I gave to the. It's the same thing as if you call your cat Shining Star, his name is Cat. It is a cat. So this is Taylor. It's the cat. But his name is Ibiza Life. It's the same thing. I like to start somewhere, just scroll a little bit away and just gently, usually when you have a landlord like mine, which is renting me a whole island, it means there are more around because you should work and you should rent from big landlords and not from crazy guys starting crazy projects that can just pull the rug anytime. Well, some big guys also fall. But for example, this I can clearly see it has grass and beach and bridges and construction. It doesn't look very elaborate, but it looks cool. Something's going on around here. Here you see is someone who's renting to 3 people, this area, that area, that area. This looks interesting. So this, you are not inserting names, searching, finding, checking. You're not doing research. You're just looking visually at places. But remember, it's worth doing it because visually you can already guess what's going on there, what if it's a type of world that interests you. And many of these worlds are not listed anywhere. So the next way I'm going to show you how to explore will not include many types of worlds that are just here and the owner doesn't want to have it in search tools and stuff like that, or in classifiers or whatever. For example, this guy rented from him or her, and it has built his world. This also. This guy probably it's not using the ground; he's using a skybox for a home or whatever. But these areas are in yellow. It means they are for rental. If you are looking at Mainland, they will have a $sign, and when you click, you see the value and the area. Right here, maybe you cannot see that because it's not Mainland and the owner set up his price on a rental box or in an office. But when you click, usually the description says, it has the short description information. In this case, you see the size, you see, but this is not because the Second Life viewer automatically does it, okay? In Mainland, it does it. You can see tiny spots, yellow spots from many tiny parcels being sold, and they have the price. This means the owner set up the description like this and included this, so it's you don't have to go there and check the posters and the rental box, and you can quickly see, okay, this is a sim, it's an adult sim, then this area is this exactly, so these many prims where I can use to build, and the price, weekly price. Usually everything is weekly price. So what else can you find out here? Or you should check these boxes, so you make sure you see at least this one. You should make sure you see people, info hubs. This is usually from Linden Labs. Lands for sale. If you are tired of this yellow stuff, you just unclick it and you get the general view of everything. I think it's interesting to know what is for sale, but sometimes you are looking for land and you want to uncheck this because you okay, this is for sale, but is it sandy, rocky, or grassy? Oh, it's sandy. I'm gonna check it out, for example. This is amazing. Let me just do a bit more of exercise. For example, okay, I never seen this before. It looks cool. This is the closest I can go. It looks as it has like a Howard's touch or a castle in the middle of the rocks, and then it has some different areas here. So let's Iron Mountain. Okay, let's check it out. If you are renting directly from Linden Labs, the whole island, you can choose the name of your estate. Then you cannot change it. So you can choose the same name for the estate you are buying or renting and put it the exact name of your project. But if someday you change your fantasy world into a club, the original name must stay, the name of the land, not the name that will be showing on search. Okay, you can check it out. It's good to fly. I don't like very much when I'm exploring. I hate places where I cannot fly. I understand it's for a role play and it's for immersion, but sometimes I just want to check it out. Okay, it has a nice house. It has some woods, some mountains. I saw something different on the map, which was this area here. What the hell does it mean? Let's check it out. Okay. It looks like a lake or a secret crater or whatever, or maybe a cave. I think I got stuck. So, oh, it's a cave. It's a cave entrance. Bloody hell. So I'm a bit stuck. Okay, it's not a cave. It's like a keep, an old keep, a ruined one. And I teleported there, but it happens that I landed in the middle of the ground. I set up a cool thing about my avatar. This is good for exploration. By default, you won't have that. When I click very fast in one place, I'll directly teleport there. But it's not by default on the viewers. So don't expect to be doing this feature unless you go to the settings and set it up. So what I would have to do to get unstuck from the floor, that can happen in exploration, would be like check the map, choose another area and teleport to another area. I know it's clean, okay, and it's clean, and then I would be unstuck. Sometimes you are stuck under houses, or this is because the setup point for landing is here, for example, here, imagine, and when you teleport there, the teleport doesn't know there is a building here, so it teleports you through for the same height that you were before. And if you have a sim that has mountains and stuff, if it's pure terrain like this, pure terrain, he knows he cannot put you inside the rocks, it will put you on top of it. But if it's built stuff, it doesn't take it into account, and it just respect the previous height you were in. Okay. So what else? I think you get the hang of it. We have been fooling around in worlds that are more or less urban or natural, but don't think it can give you a wrong impression like, oh, this is all the same. Beaches and worlds and castles. No, 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 no. You just have to look around for something interesting. Just remember, you can be scrolling and say, oh, this is subdivided areas, many neighbors, I don't want to see it. But who knows? One of these parcels has something great for you. But that's the other tool, that's the search tool. Because you're not going to spot it from here and know it from here. What you do from the map is like a general look and spotting the places that have consistency. There are a whole island or something like that, and that call your attention. It can also happen with these big squares, because people in a quarter of a sim can build some very interesting thing, even if it's everything different and different neighbors. Sometimes, yeah, that's it. Let me check. I would like to find something crazy, which is perfectly possible. This guy is using a sim surround, so I don't know what's going on there. At least I know if there's a sim surround, much probably it's from only one person and not several neighbors. What is this? Whoa, this has so much construction and then such a huge empty area. Well, let's check it out. But be prepared when you're doing this, you don't know where you're landing, okay? This name doesn't mean that it's telling you where you're landing. When you click, yes, experiment 7, okay? It doesn't, this is what the owner right now has written in the land. Let's click. Let's click it. Let's go there. It looks like Tatooine from Star Wars. No, Tatooine has not so many houses. It is Tatooine. No, I don't know. But it's a cool place. So you will be landing the first time from a teleport like this. You may be landing on the arrival area, but if you happen to, no, in this case, I clicked here. So I was landing exactly in the place I clicked, because this Sims allows to choose different areas to teleport. It doesn't force you into an arrival area. So you can be landing in a place that is not very interesting, but since you're using the map, you have a pretty good picture of what is going on around. And for some reason, this guy has a whole town. These are 2 Sims. You can see here. Okay, this is one Sim and this is another Sim, but they are together, so they have continuity and you can cross from one to another. It was a big problem, Sim crossing back in the days. I think you can still feel the effects, but nothing like before. If you were flying a plane and you were Sim crossing, oh my God. Even if you were just walking, you could be burying yourself in the ground. Very interesting place. It has a good feel, a good vibe, a very detailed decoration. This stuff takes ages. But you can buy, this is not the theme of the video, I like to digress a lot, but you can buy content that will fill up a whole sim instantly, okay? It happens, it exists. People selling whole worlds already pre-built, usually quite expensive. And I know exactly why, because it takes ages to build. So now let's do exploration. Of course, I have not landed anywhere, but the purpose of some exploration is to land and walk and open doors. So if you are in a world that you know you are welcomed, usually you can interact. Many worlds have vehicles or animals you can interact, or houses you can explore, whatever, castles. There are treasure hunts. You can also do something really important, which is worlds and parcel details, okay? And that gives you a description of the land. In this case, this guy doesn't want to have a description of his land. It's just the name he gave to the land, okay? But usually places that want visitors or welcome visitors, they will have a description and saying what you can do, what you cannot do, because you are not coming here from any destination guide, any search, any classified. So it's good to know a bit about the lands. Unless you are forced to land in front of an arrival area which is prepared for visitors and has the posters and the infos and all that stuff. So it's not easy to see what this guy is doing with this land, because probably it's a private project or just for friends. It doesn't have a description. Another very important thing is for you to, if you like the place, you can go to world and landmark the place. And when you do that, you usually should keep the name of the place so you connect it with where you were, but you can change the name, or you can say, okay, experiments 2, cool desert spot, okay, with built. You say, why the hell am I being so precise? When you start Second Life, you will remember 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places. When you have an inventory with 300 landmarks, you better have, because you have a search feature, you can check in your inventory and go to landmarks and check them out. But when you have, and you can use a search feature to quickly check the landmarks that from houses, the landmarks from adventure, the landmarks from stores. But when you have 300, you better have a very good description, because you will be forgetting most of your landmarks. So it's very important to have a very pretty good idea of what it is. And you say, okay, and it's now added to my landmarks, experiments 2, cool desert sport build. I keep the original name because I think it's important to relate with the worlds you are exploring. If it is a world that forces you to land on just one spot, even if you landmark away from it, you will always be landing on that forced spot. If it is a world that allows you to land in many places or teleport to many places inside that world, be careful where you put the landmark, because if you are checking the cave, you probably want to put the landmark outside. So when you get back to that world, you have quick access to mountains, beach, and cave. If you like the beach, you're not going to landmark yourself inside the cave, because each time you visit again, you will be landing on the cave. Oh, I have to walk all the way outside the cave and go to my beach. Okay, so be careful where you do the landmark. Usually in the most central or your favorite spot in the area. It doesn't seem very important, but believe me, in time, things get really accumulated, and it's good to have some organization and some methods, because one huge, immense part of exploration, it's bookmarking, in this case, landmarking, okay? You can also have several landmarks from one place, a landmark from the beach, a landmark but you have already so many places, so many landmarks, that having several from the same place, you better identify them really well. Some people just like to use Second Life, and they just like 3 places: their home, the club where they go, and a role play sim, for example, and that's it. They don't have many landmarks, but we are talking about exploration. Okay, which one is missing? One of the most important, the most informative way to explore, which is, don't get me wrong, I love this way of exploration, just visual, because as I said, many of these worlds, you'll only find them on the map. You won't find them in description or search or whatever, because when you set up your land, you have an option to not include it on search. But here we are, search. This is it's still a bit clumsy. Why? Because when you go to search, you can type right there. But usually what happens is, like you say, clubs. Okay, clubs. Okay, a club. And you click enter, and this opens up. And what's happening? It goes here, web search. This is web. No. We want to, when you are exploring, you want to see places. You don't want to see groups. You're not looking for people. I mean, for names, concrete names of avatars. You are looking for places. Maybe you can also use events and maybe classifieds. I learned a few time ago, not for a long time. I didn't notice that sometimes the only way to find a place is in the classifieds, okay, which are ads people pay to have on the search feature. Because some people don't have their land on the search for places or for groups. They only have their lands identified in a classified. So the only way to get there, either the owner tells you or a friend tells you about it, because these landmarks that you get from the places can be easily exchanged from people to people, from avatar to avatar. You can send it to your friends. Oh, look at this desert, so cool. There you go. And you send it. That's why sometimes you land in a place and you are bombarded with boxes that want to offer their landmarks already prepared. But remember, classifieds is sometimes away, but we are talking mostly about places, okay? And well, why the hell am I not seeing clubs here if I type their club? This is stupid, but it's the way it works. Official viewer, I think, is pretty much the same, unless it has changed lately. Also, one very important thing, if you are an adult, and everyone in Second Life should be an adult, you should make, sometimes this is not checked, so you're not going to find places that are adults. Adult doesn't mean you're going to find sex everywhere when you visit that place. Ibiza is not a sex place. It will have some clubs. People may have some strippers. Escorts can be there, no problem at all. But it's not exactly mainly a sex place. But I have chosen an adult area. Why? Many people are doing very innocent things in Second Life, but they don't want to get into trouble. Imagine you have a peaceful grassy world with pink rabbits and everything, and blue clouds, and everything is very soft, and you're doing very innocent stuff. But imagine one day you want to be walking around in bikini or in lingerie, or you have a beach and some guy gets naked, or girl, or you want to do a lingerie show in your world, and suddenly people start reporting you because they were on a G general area and there are women in lingerie doing catwalk, and you get reported, and if you get reported too many times, you can get into trouble with Linden Labs. So just for sake, especially when you are renting to others, because you can have a place, it has nothing to do with adult stuff, but you can be renting some stores to help you pay the bills from the place. And one guy sets up a store of lingerie, and there you go, people reporting because it's a general area and they are watching pictures of lingerie clothing for sale. So many people go to moderate, because they also know if they go to adult, they will be losing some people that don't have adult access. But many just forsake, they do adults. So all this talk is just to let you know and remind you that not everything in adult is about sex. Actually, there are loads and loads of things that is just people playing it safe and don't get into trouble. So in case something is just a little bit adult, there's no problem. It's an adult area. People already know what they're going to find there. But sometimes this is not checked. Make sure you check, and this stays checked. If you do it once, it keeps like that. So you're going to have to type again. So what I do is, when I want to search something, I just go here, put the cursor there, click enter, then choose what I want to look, which is places. And now, yes, I type clubs. It will make it all faster for you. And there you go. These places are all the places that decided their land should be on search. It's a conscious decision. It's an option from the landowners. And as you can see, clubs, I just type one of the most, clubs and stores is one of the most abundant stuff in Second Life. And here they are, all the clubs. And then you get, oh, don't think it's just this. There's a next page and the next page and the next page, and there's lots of clubs. And for each one, you have the information the owner wants you to see. You have a description. Sometimes you have tagging, like loose words tagging. There's no problem in tagging. In this case, you don't have a picture, but in here you have a picture. This is for sale. So let's get back to the main page, which I think it's it's this one. And when you click, you see the image the owner wants you to see, or a poster or some info. And then you see, for example, there's no description, but the tags pretty much say what you're going to find here. So when you are doing a search in places and you type what you want, what you're looking for, you pretty much get access to a description or tagging, and you know exactly what you're getting in. Escort, stripper, find them. Okay, very well. We can see here, this is the whole package, but not all clubs are like this. And there's no problem in a club being like this at all. This is a free world. You don't like it, you don't visit. Jaina's rental homes and clubs, for example. Some places have mixed functions, which is very important. Don't expect a place to have just one functionality. Ibiza life is a good example. You have the beaches and the nature and the animals and the underwater, but you have the clubs and the buildings and the castle and the nudist beach. So some places have different areas and different functions. Okay, Toys, Juke, Join, Blues Club, and here's the proper description. And all these places have the teleport button, and you can go straight ahead into the place, allow it to rest. Now I don't want to stream for copyright reasons with YouTube. Is this crocodile interactive or wandering? Yes, it is. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I want one of these. You cannot get hyped up and buy everything. And there's someone here. So I just landed. Oh, there's nope. You know you are dealing with someone when you have a name or a group or wherever under over their heads. You can say, oh, there's more people there. No, that's not people. That's Animesh. It's relatively new. It has some years, but it's one of the newest features a few years ago that showed up, which is shapes that have animations. It's good for animals, but they are doing it with people. But these are not people. You right click and you don't have a profile and instant message and add as a friend and blah, blah, blah. But they look cool. They are like my waitress on the bar. They are Animesh. And they can be animals, people, cartoons, monsters, flying dragons, whatever. But this one is a person. This happens a lot in Second Life. When you get into a place, it is not showing you the person. It's showing like a cloud. Sometimes you look like a cloud to others, and you have to wait a bit of time and then check. And because they are here and just two persons, I just popped up. I'll say good night. I'm just using the general chat. It shows up here. Everyone around will see what I have said. If I want it to instant message, I'll have to instant message here. But I'm talking to everyone, so it's a decision you must make. It may not be the subject of today's video, but when you are exploring, sometimes you will bump right in the middle of a private meeting, because you are just guessing and looking at the map and checking places where you see green dots, which is people, and you land right in the middle of them. And it's very polite to at least say good night, I'm just visiting, blah blah. It's very important. You know, there are so many trolls and so many crazy people in Second Life that if you don't show at least a little of education, they will probably play safe and eject you right away. It can happen. But don't expect to be ejected unless you really behave really bad. But it's good. It's part of exploration to find people. And it's part of the fact that you are finding people to be at least say good night or good day or whatever, or just visiting, just checking the place. Bye-bye, guys. It's the minimum, okay? So this is also part of exploration, as you can see. And what happened to the search? Is it gone? No. If you go here and you click it again, it will resume where you are. Oh, no, it's all gone. No, it's not. Places. There you go. It's still there. You're still where you were. You know exactly where you are, and you can keep discovering and scrolling and finding new places. Okay, this is a very informed way to find what you want. Now we've been finding normal stuff. Let's look for dragons, because it's time. If you are not very used to use Second Life, it's time to look for some crazy stuff. Not the breathables auction. These guys are doing auctions to sell dragons. Some guys sell the eggs, and you are auctioning and you are pledging for playing the auction to get a special egg, and you don't know what kind of dragon is going to be born of those eggs. So this is a type of thing called breathables. So it's places where people really breed animals and they cross animals, and it is a surprise. It's like the real world horses, for example, or rabbits or whatever. If you get a good horse combined with another good horse, the possibilities that the offspring will be a very nice horse are big, and they are more expensive. Just like the real world, animals breeding animals, whatever, pets, wild animals. In this case, they do it with dragons. Play Pets Pet Stores. So I said dragons and place, so I gotta check it out because it can be a store. In this case, this guy is selling dragons as pets, and it has the description here. Unicorn. Oh, unicorns, cool. But if you want to visit a crazy place with dragons, a world with dragons, more on the sense of exploring a world with dragons and not a store, this seems to be it. Stone Swords, Darkstone A1. Dragons, cowboy hats. Oh God, cowboy hats and dragons. What the hell? Fedoras, it's also a store. No, we want monster bonds, tables, erotic BDSM with dragons. Come on. I really want to find, well, I think I should be looking for that on the destination guide because in here I'm going to get lots of stars. Oh, another thing, when you are doing a search, the order in which stuff appear is not random. It's regulated by traffic. So things with more people visiting, traffic is the number of avatars in an average per hour or per day visiting. It generates, the algorithm generates a traffic value for that land, and the lands with more traffic show first. I don't know. You can say it's unfair because many interesting projects, if they are having few visitors, they won't be shown on the first pages. It's like just like Google. And if they are not showing on the top lists, they won't get more visitors, so they won't have the opportunity to grow. And the big guys who have big traffic, the more traffic they have, the more traffic they get. It's like a snowball effect, which is unfair in one way. But it also means if he is having a lot of traffic in the beginning, in the first place, it's because maybe he's doing something right and something interesting. So you can look at traffic also as you're looking for clubs. And if that club doesn't have a good traffic, probably it's empty or just for friends, or it's not a good club and people don't go there. So it works both ways. Nothing is perfect, yet each coin has two sides. So it's just like that. Delirium breathables. Guys are selling dragons. What's happening? Oh, here we are. Dragon Serenity. It's a garden special made for spiritual balance and relaxing. The wonderful layout and beautiful ambience make an adventure. Come see the wonders and enjoy the great activities we have. Dragon breathing, breathable. Everybody's breeding dragons. Empire of Crowns, medieval fantasy RP. Oh, let's check this one out. If you are RP roleplay, if you are visiting a roleplay, you must be very careful and very polite straight away. There's someone here. I don't know if he's someone greeting, welcoming people. Just checking the place. No stress. If you guys are role playing, I will leave. Cheers. Because what happens, it's when you have role players, usually they do their thing and they are tired of getting trolls and bullies visiting the role play sim, and they are very touchy. If they see someone which is not dressed properly for the role play, doesn't belong to the group, it's just checking the place around, Usually they are polite, but they can just be so tired of trolls and crazy guys that they can be very rude to you. Say, I see you're not role playing here. Sorry. If you want to know more, click on this link, but please inform yourself first and then talk to me, and then you may be allowed to come here. It's their world, their rules. If you have a role play world, you sooner or later will act like that because you got to defend yourself and you got to keep the role play spirits. Okay. This is the Auer platform. Okay. Thanks. Be going. Cheers. I think they liked my wolf. Okay. I don't have another place selected to be going right away, but I can visit the sim next to them. I'm using the map. I don't know. I like the looks of those. Sometimes you land in a place and you're not landing in the land, you're landing in the sky. If you have doubts about it, just look at the height. So this is the height, the third value here on the coordinates, and I landed 3,000 meters almost in the sky. It's another place. So I would have to fly down. Actually, I have a good list of hacks that many old Second Lifers don't know, and I don't remember. Go to floor. Well, I have the list. I have forgotten some of them, but there is a fast way to go to the ground. You just type 3 letters, click on the chat, click enter, and you're in the ground. Go to floor level. No, it's not that one. It was something like that. I'll do a video about that, but I have to prepare because it's a huge list and it's very easy to forget. I don't know where we are right now, but let's try another search, but this time make it a bit different. Let's get back to where you are. Nothing is gone. We are in places. And let's, for example, use the classifieds. And you want, I don't know, classifieds. If you are using the classifieds for exploration, of course, expect things for sale, either products or services or activities. Another way, let's give you an example. So classifieds, you are looking for jewels. Yes, jewels to wear on your avatar. Jewels, it's well written. Only one place in classifieds. I'm pretty sure if you check places and write jewels, many people use the classifieds. Am I typing it right or just with one L? No, jewels has, oh boy, okay, sorry, I'm not English. Now we get lots of places with jewels, but we are in places, classifieds, jewels. And okay, in classifieds, expect less stuff on classifieds because many people don't care about classifieds. They use other tricks to publicize their places. But okay, Sonia luxury fashion jewel isle. It's an island. Okay, you can teleport there. You're checking in classified, but it's connected to a place. So let's go. Not my cup of tea, jewelry, but well, I could use a goth dagger with jewels or something like that. I could find it interesting. Deny the media. But anyway, this is a place where she is selling jewels. It can also be a mall, and she is directing us right to the entrance of her store. And maybe these stores are from other people. Yes, they are. Yep, because there are different parcels of land subdivided. And I know that because I'm flying and I'm getting different parcel media offerings, which I'm denying everyone. But this means I went out from her parcel and entered another parcel. And if I get closer to another store, I'll be visiting another parcel, but maybe this guy didn't set up any media on his parcel. He doesn't want music or whatever. So I'm not getting the pop-ups to ask me if I want the media. But it's another way to get into places, into worlds, is this one, classifieds. And pretty much this sums up the several ways you have to explore, either looking for names or places or types of things, either just visually, randomly scrolling through the map. I hope I have contributed for a more organized or systematic or a new way that you haven't used before of finding out places and exploring. But one thing I can tell you, my friends, if you scroll out, you will start getting dizzy because the amount of islands, and wait a minute, allow it some time to rest. Look at all of these. All of these are islands or clusters of islands, and we are not even talking about the mainland area, which is like a continent. All of these are different. It's like the universe. A little star is a whole island with a whole world inside it, and some of them with several worlds. So it's impossible to have even a small idea of what type of worlds, activities, people, groups, communities, role plays, business, events. It's very difficult. I'm going to do a video about events. So this is not the case. We are not looking and exploring places with events. But if in your case, you want to join both, you want to explore places, but make sure there are events, you can type events in places, and everything showing up here has something like events in the description. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here, like Center Lots Royal City. It doesn't say here in the name what type of events it has, but it shows in events, it's tagged with events: furry, sonic, adult, arcade, role play, community, club, hangout. Pretty much says it all. Welcome to Central, the most regal place in all of Equestria. Come and explore our historic scene and take a part in our events. Let's check it out. So this is a more oriented search, which is not by the type of content, but events. Okay, you got the picture. So know what? Show your profile on the board. Okay, show it. Let everyone see who the hell is getting here for the first time. So usually when the place is ready for visitors or wishes for visitors, because it's a place with events or a store, you will pretty much have a landing area set up for you. Click to join the group. Be careful, this is not the issue today, but be careful when you click to join a group. Sometimes you get a menu and you just join. Sometimes it's like this, and you click here and you get the group right here, the link. Then you click it and here you are in the group. Be very careful, because when you're joining a group, check first if it's free, okay? Because people sometimes are so busy and so stressed out and just so quickly joining groups, and they are doing things very frantically, and they, oh yeah, this place is cool, okay, group, join group, and it says 1,000 lindens. Usually there's a pop-up asking you, are you sure you want to pay? But just in case, be careful. It's very important to find out. The advantage of joining groups is not only getting information and getting notices for events or projects, it's also to be able to do more stuff. I'll just give you a small example. If you land in Ibiza Life and you don't belong to the free Ibiza Life group, you cannot res the sailboats to take your friends on a ride. But if you are inside the group, the reser from the boats that offer you a free boat, a free sailboat, will allow you to res that boat. So it's a way give something to people, but people giving something back to you, which is their membership on your group. So you are growing the community, even if it's just for as a newsletter for new stuff. But it's something that happens a lot. So when you explore and you like a place so much, maybe you should join the group either to see what's going on next week or next month on that place, or either because joining the group will allow you to enjoy the place more, and you can open some doors and explore some stuff in buildings if you are in the group. Otherwise you cannot. And in some places you can even res objects. And joining the group, as I said, sometimes is connected to those permissions on the land. And the only way to really enjoy the place is to join the group. Anyway, you can leave a group whenever you want. So not if it's your own group you create, that's more difficult, but you can leave other people's groups, so you can join the group just for that occasion. Okay. If, for example, if I join this place group just because I need extra permissions to do some special stuff here, and I'm not wearing my displaced group tag, but if I join the group, the place knows I have joined the group, even if it's not active on my tags. He knows I'm a member, and he will allow me to do whatever I want to do for special terms. Okay. A long video, I know, but well, Second Life has so many things. You can watch a bit of the video, then pause it. If you enjoyed all of these, it's very difficult. I'm finding very difficult to do short videos in about Second Life, because there's so many things, and things are so much connected between each other that it's really difficult to stick just to one single theme or one single feature. Because like in the real world, it's like someone taking you to a whole new country. They cannot say, this is like this because of this, because everything is interconnected, even people. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I promise that I will really try to do shorter videos with more tiny specific stuff, but this is a very important issue. And remember, you won't have a clue about what is in Second Life. You can explore 1,000 places in 1 week, and you still don't have a clue of 1% of Second Life worlds. I would advise to start on the destination guide, because usually it's intended for that. And if some place is there, it's because that place wants to be visited, has something to offer you, and it has a logic to its building layout. It has a consistency, it's coherent. So start with the destination guide, which is very informative. Okay. But don't forget all these other ways to explore. And I'm pretty sure in the comments, someone will show up with a new crazy idea how to explore places that I haven't thought about it. Because as I said in previous videos, Second Life possibilities and ways to do things are so infinite and diverse that it's always a new crazy way to do it. Okay, so if you remember any, put it on the comments, please. Okay. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.